victory. Let us overwhelm their machinations and schemes in our voting in numbers. Yes, ZEC is intransigent, but we will still defeat them.
Hello? Our campaign now is to get everyone to to vote in as large a number as possible, and we think that that will offset the ability to rig.
Hi, fellow Salam. Salam. No. Airflow.
Batora vanhu vaZimbabwe yese vangotadza kusadza
Maokomudenga. Vakomana. Vasikana. Are you feeling what I'm feeling? Are you feeling what I'm feeling? Those who believe in change, ni bonane maoko. Aye, maoka. Hands up for a new Zimbabwe. Jesus, Mama Jesus. 2 days to independence. 2 days to oneness as a people. Tikakuta mukana urukunoka we acha ugoni foot. If we miss our opportunity on Monday, we are doomed for life. Maokomudenga. Maokomudenga. Bye bye ZANU-PF, bye bye. Bye bye kushaya mabasa, bye bye. Bye bye kudzvinyirirwa kweruzhinji, bye bye. Bye bye kukanganikwa nehurumende, bye bye. Chisamba machiza. Kukula. Thank you very much. God bless you. I love you people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Pass through.
Well done.
And the full view starts now with Zimbabwe.
With just hours before Zimbabweans head to the polls, former President Robert Mugabe has addressed media here at his Blue Roof residence.
On the eve of the presidential election, the former president appeared before the media in Harare at a surprise press conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, I was sacked from the party I founded when tanks rolled through and across the country. I was regarded now as an enemy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will take a few questions.
I just want to find out, former President, you indicated that the current administration used the army to get the power, but some detractors are saying the same happened during your era.
It was not the army that ensured I remained in power. You are wrong on that one. We had elections every 5 years. Every 5 years.
Friday King, BBC News.
Would you prefer to see the opposition win tomorrow rather than see Idi Mnangagwa return to power?
Oh, what are you saying? I must say very clearly, I cannot vote for those who have tormented me. No, I can't. So what is there? I think it's just Camila.
What he said was that he could not vote for the ruling party led by President Mnangagwa. And what he has done is he's really grabbed the spotlight today. In fact, he's milked it. There is no campaigning today. There are no rallies, no political rallies. And he's endorsed basically Nelson Chamisa. It is a significant moment.
Yes, Mugabe has spoken. He has said that I'm voting for the young man. But you see, when your enemy gives you a hug and a kiss, you just have to be careful that there's no bite in the kiss. And the mood is massive. It's in the bag, but we just have to be very vigilant because there are things around the ballot papers we need to be sure about, and also around ballot stuffing. These guys are rather on the wrong side, so we just want to be sure that things are being done properly.
Voters lined up well before sunrise in Harare, waiting for hours for their opportunity to vote in this election. They are desperate for change.
Zimbabwe is holding its first election in the post-Robert Mugabe era.
Who was removed last year by the military after dominating the political scene for decades.
Many see this as a step for the country to move in a new direction after nearly 40 years of dictatorship.
Emmerson Mnangagwa is seen as the frontrunner with the backing of the ruling ZANU-PF party. The main challenge will come from Nelson Chamisa, the 40-year-old leader of the opposition, the Movement for Democratic Change.
Mr. Chamisa must be, yes, we'll do the interview outside. Mr. Chamisa, how does it feel to have cast your ballot here this morning?
Well, it's a great moment for Zimbabwe. A vote for freedom, a vote for democracy, a vote for a new Zimbabwe, a vote for the genuine new.
The process for campaigning was peaceful. The voting today is peaceful. I have no doubt that the end process of the entire electoral process will remain peaceful.
Okay. All right.
Okay, President.
Dr. Nkululeko, the President's spokesperson, will address this press. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The President has a very, very clear message to the people in the country and in the world. Let us all be polling agents. If you see any irregularities or pre-marked ballots, immediately report these and demand a clean ballot. Don't go away without casting your vote.
Can I ask a favor from you? If you could just send me a WhatsApp message, because I'm having a lot of calls coming through.
So what we're going to do is we're going to be entering the results per polling station.
Okay.
And this is a check variable.
Okay.
If we have any figure at all here, it means there is something wrong somewhere.
The earlier we get the picture, the good teaching the better. Because that informs my political decision.
The votes have been cast and are now being counted for Zimbabwe's first general election since last year's ousting of the country's long-serving president, Robert Mugabe.
Electoral authorities say that the turnout was high, with more than 5 million having registered to cast their votes.
Magura High School, these are all rural constituencies.
These are wards. These results will be correct.
Yeah.
Wards will have results by now. And look, we're winning. Those results are correct. Doc, yes, the man I'm looking for. How are you, sir?
Good, sir. What can happen to you?
I have to declare the victory.
I'm telling you. It's looking good. We are sitting here, and what we will be doing is look at the results as they come through, and when we think you need to know, we'll let you know. Yes, President.
No, I'm saying the position is similar. We will be claiming victory at an appropriate time, okay? But timing of it is critical. I need to reconcile that with our team's position here. Okay, I will get back to you.
The Commission would like to thank the Zimbabwean electorate for exercising their right to vote in peace, and would like to urge Zimbabweans to be patient as they wait for the results.
We are just about to become the most important team in this country in a few hours. In the event that we win, if the numbers come our way, right, the official numbers from SEC, if they come our way, we are no longer talking politics, we are talking reality. We cannot really be sure about what kind of reaction we are going to get from the system. It could be anything from police action, military action. We are on our own.
We must confine ourselves and talk about what we're going to do to ensure that the victory doesn't fly away. I think we have to claim the victory by addressing a press conference.
No one must announce election results except ZEC.
To take power from ZANU-PF. These are Zanla gorillas that are in power. These are military. And I've never seen it anywhere where you try to juggle it within the league. If people are not going to prepare to die, to go to prison, to go to jail, you're not going to take power from this regime, believe me or not.
We need extraordinary boldness tonight.
Yes.
Somebody might get killed. But you know, so many people over the years have laid down their lives for the sake of this country, and I'm prepared to do that tonight.
We can't say we've won this election. There is no evidence based whatsoever. There is evidence. There is nothing concrete now. That's evidence. This is 2 a.m. Please tell me.
Yeah,
from 7, Mom's gives you 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5, 12. That's 12, 5 hours. You should know the results, but they are not out.
Riverside, there are only 36 registered voters outside Rapids. 36.
There's no way this system was gonna beat us. I've got a bit feeling already. Because it's not good for us. Something is cooking. It's in the oven.
Purity's new improved, even tastier recipes. Made with quality ingredients.
This kind of information is our challenge.
Yeah. So, look, ZEC has delayed counting such that by now we actually don't have any numbers from the polling stations. Yeah, so we're still where we were soon after the voting.
And would like to urge Zimbabweans to be patient as they wait for the results.
Vanhu vacho vakanonoka kuverenga shamwati saka tichiri mushishi kuda kuunderstanda kuti zvakamira sei. But it's looking good. So far ese atakuziva marare takawina.
So my view is that I think we now need to put public pressure on them. Call for a presser. We're concerned about the delay in coming out of results. We don't have official results. Results no, but we don't have official
results because we've already tabulated.
So that is a pressure.
So you agree with the presser?
Yeah, let's have it. We don't need to consult any further.
No, I'm going to do that after consulting the president in 10 minutes.
But I'm trying to call him now. But if he doesn't pick, we just have to go ahead because we are in a crisis now.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ante.
The Commission would like to advise that we will announce the results as they come in, and all stakeholders are hereby reminded that it is unlawful to announce results because this is a direct contravention of Section 66A, subsection A, subsection B of the Electoral Act. So if you announce results to your friends on WhatsApp as if those are official results, that is an offense.
We have now received from our agents across the country results of the 2018 election. The results show beyond reasonable doubt that we have won this election and that the next president of Zimbabwe is Advocate Nelson Chamisa. We will now hope that the Zimbabwe Election Commission will follow its constitutional and legal obligation of formally announcing the result that is consistent with what we have gathered through our own paro voter tabulation process. We've also received very confidential reports that General Chiwenga has issued an order, a directive for the assassination of President Chamisa and myself. We don't accept that. We don't accept that. So we are aware that people are trying to prevent and stop the people's will, to interfere with the people's will. We will not accept that.
These opposition supporters say they are not going to accept defeat. They say if President Mnangagwa has won this election, they will protest on the street. As far as they're concerned, their candidate, Nelson Chamisa, is the winner.
People are concerned and worried about the pace at which this is going. Why is it taking so long?
The counting has been completed in most of the polling stations. I'm sure by now all have completed the counting.
All right, so we might have a National Assembly by the end of tomorrow for sure. Why would it take another 2-3 days to do the presidential? Because the National Assembly is happening at the same time as the presidential. It's the same time, the same people counting. Why the delay? Why the difference in timing?
We have 5 days to announce them in terms of the law, and our target is to ensure that as soon as we get all the results, we should be able to announce them.
But again, you're doing so well with the others. Surely it's not that much more difficult.
Have you found any evidence for the opposition claim of widespread, large-scale ballot rigging?
That I have not seen.
I welcome you and thank you for coming today.
The delegation notes several improvements in the electoral process compared to the past, although there are important problems that raise concerns that the process has not yet hit the mark.
The ZEC should take immediate steps to ensure the public of its independence and political impartiality by completing the vote tabulation process in an open and transparent manner.
The longer the results are delayed in being released, the more questions will be raised and concerns will deepen.
There's been increasing concerns about ZEC's independence. Do you think ZEC is one-sided? Do you think it's independent?
I know the best way to get quoted is to give a soundbite. And I didn't deliberately draw out the answer to the question about the voters list to avoid being quoted. My point was there's not an easy way to answer questions of that.
Sounds like a no.
using violence. They are manipulating our results. We voted for MDC Alliance. Nobody voted for ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF have failed to deliver for this country. It has been in power for 25 years.
Okay, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down. Behind the tree.
Differences. I'm hearing what sounds like blasts, Michelle. It's definitely blasts.
Put it on me. Take cover.
Raymondo, get behind me. Okay, we want to go. We will go, but we want to be safe.
We're in the crossfire. Come down. Low.
Get down low.
Please, give him space.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. You can ask the journalists to move to the other side for a minute.
Can you kindly give us space? We are crying. We want to talk to him.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's fine. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Yeah, very sorry, Wakumanda. The members are from Kumananga, Jesus.
I think it's about Jason.
Yeah. How old?
42.
Sorry, married? Yeah, he's married. How many children?
Four. And the wife is pregnant.
The wife is pregnant.
Achieva masoja ngati kuma saka paakabva ndopa ari mumashure imomo vanhu vese atori kumberi ndopa akarohwa gunshot achikandowira pasi ndofunga zve 10 meters paanotengesera
vanga singatombodemonstrate
vanga singademonstrate saka tongoshaya
tine urombo wako mana I'm very sorry about what happened. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fergal Keane from BBC News. Do you accept that the longer this goes on, the more it looks, particularly to opposition supporters, that there's a fix?
But the reality of the situation is that we need to do the whole process within the confines of the law. Our law provides that election results must be announced within a period of 5 days from polling, and we are still on day 3. And we will be able to release the results soon, as we have said.
The world witnessed the shooting of some protesters. Really, can you be trusted with the handling the presidential results at this moment?
Yes, I really think that the nation and the world at large really ought to trust us. We are working very hard to make sure that everything is finalized. The system is very protracted, but my assurance to all of you here is that we'll be able to announce the elections within the time frames specified by the law.
We're done now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but Ripadova would have. All right.
Sikuzwa kunzi vapinde mota manje kuti zviri kufamba sei.
Ko naye. Urupinda motikari yaiko. Urupinda motikari. Come down. Muri office here. Tione ma credentials zenyu.
Tinao wasara
ngofi. Kana sara kopi dzokera office. Mupinda muri anani. Muri anani. Doesn't end well, I'm telling you. It doesn't end well for anybody who misbehaves. You cannot oppress the people forever. And make sure the system doesn't crash. Collapse over it. Where is the lawyer? What is this?
Yeah, this one I'm not aware of. This, I've just come for the people.
Let's see the warrant.
Yes.
All right, Pindai.
Pindai Motkar, no problem. We are handling that. We have come here to actually rescue guys, so don't worry. We're handling that.
But when is search warrant, man? They're searching for computers. Yeah. Anzi vanoda kubatsira vanhu ivavo kubuda mubuilding pamwe ndatosiya vanhu vachisungwa paye ndanyepegwa nemunhu yaini. Is that guy lawyers for sure?
I don't know. Maybe Junior.
Let a mistake happen. You know, I just believe these people, and I'm not sure it's right. Oh my God! Don't tell me that. Do not tell me that. Is there a way we can find out if we had lawyers for human rights at Harvest House today? Please do. All right.
want to announce the results.
If your insurer treats
Who gave the authority for soldiers to do what they did? And those who killed people, what is going to happen to them? In fact, President Mnangagwa must be able to tell the public who issued the instruction to fire live bullets on innocent citizens. Because this is a serious issue. You are having an army being unleashed onto civilians. What are you doing? It's not just a provocation. It's actually a serious offense.
Do you have a comment on the raid that took place in your office today, where computers were seized and apparently some officials were arrested?
Very sad events indeed. But what it confirms is that the leopard does not and has not changed its skin. The same system of ZANU-PF yesterday under Mugabe is the same system of ZANU-PF today under Mnangagwa. Why do you raid our offices? And why do you take our computers? They thought that they were going to get the tallies, but we had changed. We had actually a safe house for that because we knew that they were going to do that. We anticipated, you know, you can easily read them. You can almost dictate their pattern. So our simple request to ZEC, respect the people. Be professional. Show your integrity. Don't show your open hand of bias. Announce the proper result.
I now hand over this time to the chairperson of the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, Justice Priscilla Chigumba.
Good evening, everyone. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is now ready to begin the announcement of the results for the presidential election 2018.
National and Central Province. Camila Nielson, 97,097 votes. Mnangagwa Emerson Dambudzo, 366,785 votes.
From the Midlands Province, Camila Nelson, 255,059 votes. Mnangagwa Emerson Dambudzo, 350,754 votes.
I will now kindly seek your indulgence for us to adjourn for approximately 60 minutes, whereafter we will come back with the results of Mashonaland West Province, which is the outstanding province, and then make the declaration of the winner tonight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
No, yeah, what they added, which is fake.
The cheating is far too obvious.
It's blatant.
It's far too obvious.
It's blatant. Uyu idr kunzane 330 chakuti kuMash Central used to take 90 whatever to take it to 400 chakuti, but only around 200,000 people voted in Mash Central. So they've just created more than 200,000 votes for. Look, we have to tell the world today that you guys did not sign off on this process, that there was no verification as is required by law.
But what I insist on, let's call for the presser now.
Can't get presser when they are there because all presser is set up for that thing and they will not move until that process is completed.
This is a crisis. So we don't have luxury of taking our because let us just agree on the areas you go up right now before they come.
To take advantage of this get because there's so much excitement about results too. Then we hit him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
President. President. Yes, there is a suggestion he could eat a press.
No. He doesn't do that. We finish him. He doesn't do a press conference bang in the middle of the night when nobody will react to it.
Sorry? Yes? It's na commission. Okay. Do we address the presser now or we wait for?
No, you need to discredit them before they announce, if we could.
So let us go.
Yes. Attention to members of the press. We would like to give a short statement. If you don't mind. Thank you very much. Difficult times in our country, but we will get there. I'll introduce our chairperson, Senator Komechi, to come and give you a brief statement.
Good evening, gentlemen and ladies. Good evening, gentlemen and ladies.
So far, we reject the results because the results that have been announced have not been verified by us. I did not sign those results, so the results are fake. The results have just been printed and they've not been verified by the polling agent.
Thank you very much. The point is made. Thank you. We will announce it. This is a coup. It's a coup.
Yeah, it's a coup.
This is a coup. They've just carried out a coup.
It's a fraud.
No.
But how do you govern a country when you know that you've not won an election?
Votes, 50.8%. Therefore, Mnangagwa Emerson Dambudzo of ZANU-PF party is therefore duly declared elected President of the Republic of Zimbabwe with effect from the 3rd of August 2018. And I would like to thank each and every individual voter who took time out of their busy schedules to come and exercise their democratic and constitutional rights. We are, as a commission, humbled by the support, cooperation, peace, and humility that characterize
These guys are making Mugabe look like a saint.
Can you stop with this one?
Live 8 p.m. Channel 4 News.
All right. Look at this. What is this? Go walk in event yangu tusaita save.
Let's go. Wow. Let's go.
We're here for a press conference with Nelson Chamisa, and as you can see, the riot police have just turned up.
الشرطة طردت الصحفيين ومنعتهم من إقامة المؤتمر ومنعت المعارضة من إقامة المؤتمر الصحفي فيما تزال تتمركز أمام مقر المعارضة. هنا كان مقررا لتحالف المعارضة أن يعقد مؤتمرا صحفيا ولكن
So this is a democracy. Where are you shutting Shoving on a remarkable event in the last few days. This is quite extraordinary.
Out of you, police, don't stop the press conference. My message is clear. As a minister of information, media and broadcasting services.
You said riot police against journalists.
I said the press conference must go ahead.
So this is a mistake.
Okay, guys, the press conference is going ahead.
Let us go ahead and set up. Go back and have your press conference.
Can I have the journalists go back inside to set up?
I wish to start by acknowledging the problems we've had with the police who tried to block this press conference. But this cannot be the behavior of a people who have won. It can only be a behavior of those who have lost. As far as we are concerned, this election as a presidential result is fraudulent, illegal, illegitimate, and characterized by serious credibility gaps. And I must say that Mr. Mnangagwa did not win the election in this country. The election in this country was won by the MDC Alliance presidential candidate, and we won that election emphatically. Today is a day of mourning, mourning over democracy. It is a black day. Mr. Mugabe was at least sophisticated, you know, as a fraudster. But this fraudster is so pedestrian, you know. We want a proper result to be announced. We will pursue all means necessary, legal and constitutional, to make sure that we protect the people's vote.
Sore throat, blocked nose, cough too? Take Vicks.
These things happen when we are having a change. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay? That's good. Now we have flex in here. We have flex them up and we remove these flexes. Now, okay? We will not hurry you. We will make sure you are well set up, and then we will get going. The president is still news day, daily news. Let's get everyone to know. Hello. Come on, we are ready. You are. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the president-elect. Joe, these are all sets. But links. Thank you. Welcome to State House for this very important press conference. I wish to first apologize for the incident which took place at Bronte Hotel this afternoon. Any inconvenience caused to any of you is sincerely regretted. Your Excellency, sir.
My fellow Zimbabweans, the past 9 months have been momentous, an uplifting period in the history of the Zimbabwean nation. There has been an unprecedented flowering of freedom and democracy in our beloved homeland. This process culminated in the historic 2018 harmonized elections. Here was a celebration of Zimbabwean democracy, a festival of unfettered freedom. With the eyes of the world on us, we delivered a free, fair, and credible election as we had always promised. Now that the people have spoken, I hear your call. I pledge to be a listening president, a fair president, a responsible and inclusive president. I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, President. His Excellency, the President, is accepted to take some few questions.
Hello, President. My name is Violet Gwanda. I'm an independent journalist. I think right now Zimbabwe would want to know who called the soldiers to the streets of Harare, who made that call, and what investigations have been made so far?
That was an unfortunate incident where some people lost their lives.
Mr. Mnangagwa, Roland Oliphant from the Daily Telegraph. You've promised a new dispensation, but as has been mentioned, troops used live rounds on civilians, and earlier this afternoon, riot police attempted to break up a press conference by Mr. Nelson Chamisa, your main rival. Who gave that order, and what kind of a message does that send to the world about the new dispensation? Why shouldn't the world conclude that those are simply empty words?
With the intelligence they had gathered, there was likely to be violence. But when the minister got to know about it, he immediately made sure that the media is allowed and the opposition party, I think it is the MDC Alliance, be allowed to proceed with their conference. And I'm informed that actually the conference went ahead and the entire media who wanted to be present were allowed to be present.
The battle for the presidency has shifted from the campaign trail and ballot box to the courts.
I would like to guarantee you that we have a very strong case and we are going to overturn this electoral fraud. What is on trial is not Nelson Chamisa or the MDC Alliance. What is on trial is democracy.
Under the Constitution, Advocate Tabani Mpofu has 7 days to challenge the results from the time a winner is declared.
PFT. This is ZBC. Thank you. This is ZBC. On the day, it says 105,000 voters had in March Central cast their votes by 5 p.m. When ZEC announces its results, it says more than 440,000 people voted. Wow. And there's an affidavit which confirms the story. Yeah, which we've put in. This is contemporaneous material. Taken at the time, there was no need for them to lie.
Dude, this doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense?
One example, Makoni West, right? Constituency. The total of votes for the National Assembly are 12,302. The total of votes for the same constituency for the presidential, excluding spoiled ballots, are 21,003.
You see? ZAC distributed unwittingly the data that it used to produce a result. The data has so many irregularities. The data is the best evidence we can have. The data tells the story of how the attempted rigging happened.
This lady who's calling me now is the lady who's bringing in the people from across the country. Can I tell her that we will get their affidavits done this evening?
Yes.
It's fine. So you were a polling agent. I have your basic statement, and you mentioned that when they saw that MDC had won, some people came into the polling station.
Yes.
Are you able to tell me a little bit more about that, about what happened?
I was beaten.
Okay.
And I came to Women Trust.
Yeah.
That's where I was treated.
Okay. How many people were beating you?
4 were inside the cell.
4 were inside.
Yes.
You were beaten inside the polling station?
Yes, with the iron bar.
Okay. They beat you with an iron bar?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I fell down, then soldiers came inside.
Yes.
So when they left me looking for another MTC observer was inside.
Okay.
Then I got the chance to run away now.
Okay.
Yes, to escape.
So we're going to turn this into an affidavit to be used in the court case. Then I will ask you to come and sign it in a moment.
I'm prepared to do so.
No.
That's why I'm here.
We appreciate your bravery, sir. Yeah.
Saka pandakasvika kumba vana vachitoona kuti mama pano pasvika kamota kanga chikutsvagai panapa kanga ine vanhu 4. Saka tatongovaudza nekuti vanga vachitoti imimi togona kuti ungosaita kuurai tudze kwendani mai venyu.
Amese makadzingwa makatiza pakuzoverenga pakazoverengwa musisi pasina kana
pasina munati vanhu vese tandatisa.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we have here, and it's an affidavit. It's a really awful situation. This lady was actually was raped, and her husband was sodomized, was raped as well. She is a polling agent and had refused to actually sign new V11 forms. They had come and they came to her house trying to force her to sign new V11 forms. And the stories like this are the stories that are coming in. It's hundreds from all across the country.
So we can get more affidavits.
Yeah, by tomorrow morning we'll have more affidavits, other similar stories.
Okay.
Muchuya ndo panotanga kukwira figures avo asi ekupenga but mukada kuuya imimi pavoters roll ratatsvagara tinharo original mapolling stations aya hapo mana 18 ana 23 varipo
tifotokoperewo pamaitwa 1 yani kani 68 pamaitwa uyu 9 yani 247 pamaitwa 11 yani 213
the same for 2 different polling stations.
But coincidence actually maybe would coincidence.
No. Coincidence could be the same numbers throughout.
Cumulative here,
sorry. You hope my figures are up pane 29 up pane
and that big in evidence.
You pane that 700,000 that is not easy to account for, isn't it?
Sakachingwa.
Tokenda. Time yangu hapa.
Yes.
Okay. An extra M. Where's M?
This is the last page.
Culture it.
The NDC say they have evidence that the election on July the 30th was rigged and stolen. They say they have documents that show that some figures were inflated to favor the ruling ZANU-PF party. They say that they have evidence that in some of the rural areas, village heads were at polling stations watching how people were voting, telling them if you don't vote for ZANU-PF, you won't get food.
Wait.
Yes, I've never before felt this kind of burden on my shoulders, but I've never been more ready.
What exactly are we asking the court to do? Are we saying that they must declare Chamisa the winner? And if we're saying they must declare Chamisa the winner, what is the kind of evidence that we need to show that he actually won the elections?
What we simply need to do, in my view, what we need to expend our energies on is showing that he did not win the election.
Yeah, I suppose we could start at the core with what they admit, and then move from there to what they don't properly deny.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. And then move to what we can fight for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But from the figures that we have, the numbers that we have, we well beyond the 32,000 threshold.
And that takes us to the zone of a rerun.
Yeah.
It is an historic day. For the first time in its television history, Zimbabwe is broadcasting a court case.
Roads around this courtroom will be cordoned off as the nation braces for one of the most important cases in the country's history. The NDC Alliance says it's assembled an A-team, according to the leader, Nielson. They've brought in some high-profile South African lawyers, including amongst them Jeremy Gauntlet, who used to represent former South African President, the late Nelson Mandela. The crux of this matter is proving that indeed the numbers don't add up, as the NDC alleges, or that they do, as is the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission and ZANU-PF claims.
Are we ready to get in?
I think.
See.
I'm waiting for something. It's looking at us. It's looking at us.
Yeah, by not making messy.
Okay.
Is there a reason not to say what has happened?
Okay, to the answer to your question of what is happening now is that we have now been told that our right to represent the client has been denied, and we think that is a travesty of justice. The only person now who stands between us and the right of audience is the Minister of Justice, who, according to our client, was the chief electoral agent of the winning candidate, the current president. My colleague here was going to deal with a certain section, I was going to deal with a certain section. Advocate Mpofu of Zimbabwe was going to deal with different sections. So it does obviously affect that planning when at the last minute that plan is not going to work. If it says I can say yes, yes.
Kumana, no, we can't do this. You say to me, my way to, I'm the lawyer for the applicants. And why do you want to search me?
We are searching him.
No.
You get
Why am I being saved? I'm a lawyer for crying out loud. I'm the applicant's lawyer. Why am I being saved?
Everyone is subjected to search. Everyone. Say, Panama phone. Nema phone.
Tonight.
You're right. Panama phone. Hello, do you have a phone?
I have a tablet and a computer.
Can I have
Sure, thank you. And it is needed for the purposes of legal assistance. It's not for entertainment or any other reason. We need it. It's got our documents on.
We are not allowing a cell phone. We are not allowing a tablet. We are not allowing a laptop or any relevant metal gadget.
Thank you.
Hello, guys.
We may now proceed to hear the case for the applicants. When are you ready? You are ready now to start.
I am ready.
You may start.
Thank you, my lord. What ZEC has done is to violate the Constitution, to violate the Electoral Act in a manner which has ultimately benefited the first respondent. National and Central at page 159, the report by the ZBC, it does two things. Number one, it mentions figures. Number two, it attributes those figures to a ZEC official. It says by 5:30 p.m., 105,000 people had voted in National and Central. The final figure that one gets from ZEC is that an hour and 30 minutes later, plus 370,000 people voted. Is it humanly possible? But it doesn't end there. Then there is the issue of identical polling results. There are at least 16 polling stations with identical results. Identical results for Chamisa, identical results for Mnangagwa, identical spoiled votes. And in all those places, Mnangagwa not only wins, but wins big. It's like a kid was playing with the figures. That, with respect, is not how an election is conducted.
We'll now give the opportunity to Mr. Kanengoni.
The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission cannot be taken to task to say, why is the voter turnout in Marsh Central at this particular level and not at that particular level? Voters behave the way they do. No one knows why. Maybe behavioral scientists may be able to answer the question if they study it.
Mr. Kanengoni, there's the averment that several polling stations showed identical results.
And the simple point we make is that there's no need to be theoretical about it. We have the returns. This is something that happened. We show you the returns. And we've put the returns for 2 of those polling stations here to illustrate the point.
You say it happened?
Yes.
But in his presentation, Pofo says it's actually 16 polling stations where the identical results. You heard it.
Yes, we did. Even in the affidavit, they put a bit more of the polling stations there. But we chose this to illustrate to the court. But for the rest, it did happen. It did actually occur.
We'll now go back to the applicant. I'm interested in knowing why the ballot boxes, which are still sealed, why did the applicant not seek to have those boxes opened up?
Because there's been a massive cover-up. There's been a massive doctoring of that evidence. So that is what I want to establish. Now, why do we have...
Mr. Pof, perhaps you may not be understanding me properly. Why go for speculative conclusions of manipulation?
I'm clear on His Lordship's question.
Yes.
I'm very, very clear, my Lord. The point that I wish to make is that this is evidence of manipulation by ZEC after the process. Now, with this evidence of manipulation after the process, if you go to what they call the primary data, you're going to see manipulated data. So the applicant cannot ask a court to open residue which has already been manipulated. If you go to the residue, you drink from a poisoned well. When you look at the figures, let's look at those that have been admitted by ZEC. Let's look at the parliamentary tally. When we show that 40,000 people are said to have voted in the presidential election and not in the primary election, and ZEC does not have returns which show that there were people who simply chose to vote in the presidential election, that is the end. Fortunately, they took away my phone. I wanted to just do a quick calculation, but it is, let me just do a quick calculation. It's around 69,000 votes, which have nothing to do with the residue. So, my lords, my ladies, on the figures that are purely arithmetic, we have 69,000 under circumstances where we require 31,000 to establish that first respondent did not win this election. And on that basis, a runoff is unavoidable.
Thank you, Mr. Pofo, for having taken us through these issues very well, well argued. We do appreciate your assistance. We do also appreciate you did quite a lot of work in 2 days and failed to sleep. We do appreciate that much.
Mama, thank you. Let him say anything now. Let him go there. Well, the Supreme Court is under siege. It is as if it's a war zone, and I think that is very unfortunate. It doesn't send a good message to the desire for democracy, freedom, and transparency. I do not know what the state is afraid of, so much that the whole, nearly the half of town is cordoned off.
Right now, things are at a standstill. The country is in limbo. Parliament can't convene. Cabinet can't be appointed. So a lot of things are not moving right now because of this court case. All eyes on those 9 judges. Which way are they going to rule? Once that ruling is made, the decision is final. There's no room for appeal.
The applicant made several allegations of irregularities against the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, which were sought to be related to its failure to discharge its obligations in terms of the law. No proof or evidence was adduced by the applicant himself of these allegations. In the final analysis, the court finds that the applicant has failed to place before it clear, direct, sufficient, and credible evidence. In the result, the following order is made. The application is dismissed with cause in terms of Section 93, subsection 4, subparagraph A of the Constitution. Emerson Tambuzo Nangagwa is duly declared the winner of the presidential elections held on the 3rd of July, 2018.
Can I ask you, has justice been done?
Yeah, they failed to deal with our figures completely. But what if they declared him a winner on what number? What supports the revised number?
Not a figure.
Independent of figures.
Independent of figures.
Why you win
Independent of figures. So it becomes a selection, but not an election.
Yes. How do you become independent? Win independently.
Independent of figures. Nah.
Well, you've got to count how many people voted for a person and then make a declaration based on the numbers. And the Concord did not want to look at the numbers. They did not answer questions about double counting. They did not answer questions about 300,000 people voting in 1 hour in a province. And these are fundamental questions to seeing whether or not the figures that you want to use in order to make a declaration part true or a fallacy, it's very clear that Mnangagwa is going to be a hugely legitimate president.
I've heard what has been said by Mr. Mnangagwa, that he accepts the court decision. Yes, he may accept the court decision, but the court decision is not the people's decision. He must be able to look at the reality that the people who voted do not believe in him. I saw even last night, ZANU-PF were trying frantically to try and cause people to celebrate. But they couldn't. They couldn't even celebrate themselves because they know that it's fiction. They did not win this election. Now I understand that there's an inauguration tomorrow. That does not take away, even if they are going to inaugurate tonight, in the next hour, that does not resolve the issue of the national economic crisis. Zimbabweans can't afford 5 more years of promises without delivery. There must be answers. Workers need answers. The young people out there who want jobs need answers. Hope, hope, hope is what we have. I want to thank those who voted for me, over 2.6 million who voted for me. Thank you so much for investing your trust in us. Thank you so much for dreaming with us. Thank you so much for believing in us. This is not the end of the road, but it's beginning. Change is coming, and change is coming. Whether it is delayed is another thing. It cannot be denied.